What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly Chibi vlog. Now, I know, it's late, I know. As always, I think majority of you Chibits understand by now, if you've constantly seen, the Chibi vlogs when a new season begins, usually the vlog date has to shift around a little bit till I figure out what day is the best day to kind of upload the vlog. And after seeing all of the days, for the most part, it seems like maybe Tuesday, Monday, and maybe even Sunday could possibly be vlog day for this upcoming season because of how free they are. I mean, there's some good stuff that comes out on those days, but overall, though, it seems like one of those days are probably the easiest days to upload the weekly Chibi vlog. So, that out of the way, let's talk about anime, let's talk about what has came out from Fall of Anime 2016, and let's talk about the backlog, as many of you have been asking me all week, because I did promise I would be uploading it, and many of you have been asking me, Chibi, where is those first, impressions, where's those first impressions? So, since now I kind of have a schedule going on here, and I have been, watching some stuff from my backlog, for instance, Ava, I want to be uploading videos for those very soon. I should have my Ava first impressions up sometime today after this vlog. For instance, after this vlog is uploaded, I should have the Ava first impressions after that, or maybe even before, depending on how long it takes for this to render and that to render. It really depends on which one I start first, but I plan on having the Ava first impressions up as soon as you guys see this. It'll be up shortly afterwards or beforehand, so prepare for that. And Ava, by the way, love it. I love it. I like Ava, but I'm not going to say any more. I'm not going to say anything about Ava because I don't want to spoil the first impressions and say my thoughts here, but Ava, I'm glad I started. I'm glad I started Ava. Now, that being pushed aside, let's talk about the Fall of Anime 2016. Let's just talk about all the anime that's come out. So, for the most part, the season, it's had some good things, like good stuff has come out, and some very bad things have come out this season. One of the series that really stood out to me that I thought was going to be good and was bad was Occultic 9. Oh, if you saw my, first impressions I did on Saturday, you most likely know how I feel about the series. Oh, I thought Occultic 9 was going to be something very good, but then, after thinking about it, after watching it, after the first impressions I uploaded, and you just time sinking in, I've come to the point to where I'm like, yeah, it seems like that series I just don't want to sit down and, continue watching because of what happened and how rushed it was. It just is like, no, it kind of disgusted me a little bit. So, yeah, that's one of the series that really stood out to me when it came to being bad. Now, a good series, though, I would like to recommend is definitely Yuri on Ice. That was a spectacular series I did not expect to be good. Like, that's kind of funny. I thought Occultic 9 was going to be the good series of the season, besides, Drifters or Gundam, the stuff I knew was going to be good. I thought, Occultic 9 was going to be something very good, but apparently not, and I thought Yuri on Ice was going to be something shit. Like, I thought it was going to be a terrible series, but then I found out it was a very good anime, so it's just funny how it works like that. So, if you've yet to start Yuri on Ice, I do recommend that series. It definitely stood out to me. Another one is Sungasu, or Threegasu, whatever. It's a series called March of the Lion, or March of the Lion Comes, or whatever. I forget the exact title, the English title, but I uploaded it also on Saturday. That is a great series as well. Slice of Life too, but I mean, if you like Slice of Life, you like mature themes, that's another one I recommend on the list. I mean, there's a couple of good anime that's came out, and a lot of bad anime that's came out, and some series I just haven't even decided to watch, because I'm just like, it's just not part of what I would most likely like, unless a lot of you Chibits recommend it. One of the series many of you have been recommending me is Flip Flappers, which I have yet to sit down and watch, and I've heard that it's good. I just don't know much about it to really know if it warrants me to watch it or not, but I heard something about it, something makes it really good, or the animation or something's good about it. If any of you Chibits can clarify, please do so in the comments below. Now, one of the big things that many of you have been asking me for the past couple days now since it aired is my first impressions of Keijo, because I said in my what I will watch for summer of, or what I will watch for fall, I don't know why I'm thinking summer, whoa, I said for what I will watch for fall of anime 2016, that I'm definitely going to watch Keijo. Now, when I said that I was going to watch Keijo as a guilty pleasure, I did not say I was going to review it, and I want to tell you my overall thoughts on this series right here, like a quick little mini first impressions before, I get to carry on, because many of you have been asking for it. So my first impressions on Keijo, it's literally should be titled Booty Bump the Anime. That's titled, GG, right there, because the amount of asses in that, and how the fighting is done, it's like a shonen fighting anime, but with ass cheeks. Like, That's what it's about. It's literally just imagine a shonen fighting series beating the shit out of each other, but instead of that, it's literally butts going up against each other. That's like, yeah, it's such a bizarre series. It's not, I guess you could say, well written, but it's so entertaining that it's one of those shows you just turn off your mind. You have fun. There you go. That's exactly what it is. And it's very entertaining. I had a lot of fun watching it. Obviously, the comedy's subjective, because, I mean, it's very sexual in ways, because it's about fucking booty fighting. That's what it is. And, I mean, if you're not into something like that, I guess you won't like the series. But Keijo, yeah, I had a good time watching the first episode. Like, my favorite moment of the first episode was when the female character, I think her name was Kawaii, I think that's what her name was. Best girl, by the way, my waifu of the series. Like, she's best girl. She straight up killed a bitch. Like, she broke someone's fucking neck with her ass. Like, she just snapped their fucking necks. And they fell in the water. And you know what's funny? Those people that fell in the water, they never came back out. They never resurfaced ever again. They were dead as fuck. They never came back. So, there is legit kills. Like, there's kills in this series. Like, killing people with your ass. So, yeah, Keijo, as a series, not something I can review, but it is something I'm watching because it's fun. It's very fun. So, that aside, other series, too, I want to talk about. Let's see. Tokyo Magnitude. Oh, I started that as well. Don't want to get too far into that because, you know, first impressions I want to do of it. But, oh, I love Tokyo Magnitude. If you have not seen that series, like, it's not something from fall. It's not from this season. It's an old series that I was going to get into for the backlog. If you have not seen Tokyo Magnitude as well, like Ava, please start that series. That is such a good series. I like Tokyo Magnitude, and I'm glad I decided to start that and watch it because it's fun. It's also fun, and it's got a good story, too. So, I'm not going to go any further. I don't want to, you know, spoil anything about my first impressions, but Tokyo Magnitude is great as well. Now, on the manga spectrum of stuff, so a lot of chapters this week came out very early, which fucked up my entire schedule because it turned Wednesday, that was kind of already busy from this fall of anime 2016, into even a busier day, because all the chapters came out on Wednesday, and I didn't even expect it. Like, I'm up early in the morning, waking up, and I'll get my cup of coffee, all of a sudden I see chapters coming out, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, why is these chapters coming out so early? I found out that apparently there's a holiday in Japan, and so that's why we're getting all the chapters early, and I'm like, okay, so it turned a busy day into a very busy day, and, you know, honestly, I really, really hope that the chapters don't come out repeatedly on Wednesday, because I got kind of used to them coming out on a Thursday. I don't want them to always be on a Wednesday, because there's a lot coming out on Wednesday right now, and I don't want, you know, Wednesday to be completely packed. But casting that aside too, let's talk about overall what's been going on. So, I guess overall, besides anime and manga, I guess gaming side of the spectrum, what I've been doing, been playing a lot of Smite, as always. It's something I always play, and I think a lot of you Chibits know by now how much I love Smite. I love playing that game, and I guess that's one thing I've been playing, and then I also did a little bit of a stream yesterday. I did a stream for Smite for about maybe 2-3 hours on Smite. I was just playing, got to play with some Chibits, and that was very fun. So all the Chibits that tuned into that stream on Twitch and had fun with it, thank you very much. That was a hell of a lot of fun. I got a little bit salty. I'll admit, I got crusty and salty, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and a lot of you that were watching it seemed to appreciate and enjoy the stream, and it's definitely something I do want to continue doing, but, you know, it's every so often, because, I mean, hey, my two friends that were streaming with me, they were like, Chibi, you need to stream. You need to stream. You need to stream. I'm like, okay, I'll stream for you. I'll stream. So, yeah, if you guys like that, if you like me doing, like, Smite streams and stuff, there might be more in the future, but I play quite often. I just recently picked up Gears of War as well. I mean, I picked up Gears of War 4 today, and I've yet to really sit down and play it. I haven't yet to play the campaign, which I want to dive into, because, you know, I love the story of Gears of War. I love the trilogy. I didn't like Judgment. Judgment was like, I wasn't a big fan of Judgment, and it's been a while since I sat down and played a Gears title. I didn't even play the Ultimate Collection, you know, the Ultimate Edition or whatever that came out, the remastered Gears 1. Didn't even play that, and so I've been waiting for a while to see the continuation, and Gears 4 is finally here. New story, continuation. I'm definitely going to play the fuck out of it to see where the story goes, so definitely going to be diving into that sometime this week. But first things first, I need to get those first impressions out. So, let me ask you all now, how's everybody else's week been this week? I mean, I should have already asked you, but I'm going to ask now anyways. How has everybody's week been? Has it been good? Has it been bad? How you doing in school? How you doing at work, college, everything. Just, wanting to find out about your Chibits, how your life is going, and just let me know in the comments below. I do read your comments. I can't answer to everyone, but I do read you guys' comments, and it's always fun to see what you guys say. So, yeah, with that being said, let's get into some fan mail. Zawaldo! Re! Dio Brando. I miss Dio. I miss Dio so much in JoJo. That's cute drawing, by the way. That's very cute drawing. Dear Chibi. Hey there, Chibi. It's Crow again. How you doing, Crow? How you doing? This is my second letter. Whoa. This is my second letter to you and more to come. How has your week been? My week's been good. How about yourself? Mine's been good, thanks. Before I get too deep into the letter, let me first say thank you. You're definitely one of my favorite YouTubers, and I always look forward to your next video, so thank you for consistently great videos. Aw, you're too sweet. Now I know I just got done saying thanks, but let me say it a few more times for a different reason. First, thank you for making a video about the Spice and Wolf 10th anniversary book. I saw the video a few minutes after you put it up, and I went straight to Amazon and bought it. Speaking of Amazon and my Spice and Wolf book, this is something I need to bring up. So, if you all didn't hear, if you follow me on Twitter, most likely you already know, but I was supposed to get my Spice and Wolf book, my 10th anniversary book, this past week on Tuesday. It was supposed to arrive, but for some reason it didn't. Amazon didn't have the copies in, store and the shipment and all that, and so they couldn't send it out, and there was a delay on it, but thankfully I'm finally getting the copy tomorrow, literally on Monday. Well, it's actually technically already tomorrow. It's already Monday, but early in the morning, so I'm getting it on Monday. I'm getting my 10th anniversary. If everything goes right, I'll be getting my, Spice and Wolf 10th anniversary, but it was delayed thanks to, the shipping and all that. Hopefully, everybody else is having, I guess getting their books now after the delay. Let's see. Without you letting me know, I might not have known about that marvelous book until it was too late. As of me writing this, they have closed sales. Just before they closed sales, they lowered the price to $130 or so, even more of a still. Don't worry, if you pre-order it, they guarantee the lowest price it goes to before shipping. Next, I want to thank you for pushing me to read that Taizai grant. Oh, that's great. You're starting Taizai. Praise Lord Eskimo, the sun bro, the sun god. I heard good things about it, but I did not decide to read it until about 4 weeks ago because of your review videos. I caught up to it in 2 weeks, and now it's one of my favorite shonen manga. Enough of the thank yous, let me get some questions. Have you read all of Nisekoi? No, I have not, but I know how it ends because it's just something I was kind of passively keeping up with. I was just checking in every so often to see where the story went. Saw the final chapter. It's to be expected. It was a very predictable ending, and so I was like, yeah, okay. I know about Nisekoi, though. If so, what are your thoughts on the ending? Predictable. It was a very predictable ending. It was exactly what I expected, and it's just nothing else. Have you heard or read a manga called Reincarnation no Kaben? Petals of Reincarnation. No, I've never heard of that. I just started reading it myself, and it's pretty enjoyable. It's also relatively new with only 26 chapters out. If you like the Fate series, which I know you do, you'll most likely enjoy this too. Let me explain. So the story is set in modern day time and features a main character who wants talent very badly so he can escape the shadow of his dead older brother, who was a rich genius. In this world, there are people known as returners who, by slitting their throat with a special knife called a brancha rene, are able to temporarily call upon the powers of their past lives. So it's like a reincarnation thing. As an example of one of the characters can gain the power of Isaac Newton. Okay. Who they are reincarnated of, which allows them to manipulate gravity because Isaac Newton came up with the laws of gravity. Kind of, that's interesting. It's not the exact same plot, but it reminds me a lot of Drifters because of historical figures. The main character seeks out a branch so he can bring forth talent he has from a previous life. He then joins a group of returners and the story goes on from there. The main character is somewhat evil and greedy, though. To wrap things up, I know you have read the manga, but have you read the No Longer Human novel? I have not read the novel, but I have definitely read the manga. If so, what did you think of it, and which was better, novel or manga? Never read the novel, but the manga is a masterpiece. One of my favorite manga of all time. The writing, it was so real. That's the first thought that pops in my mind. Well, that about wraps things up for now, Chibi. Thank you for reading my letter. Have a great day or night wherever you live. Aw, you too. Please be safe. Crow out. Looks like I stole your outro. Lol. You thought it was Crow who wrote this, but it was me, Dio Zawaldo! Just kidding. Crow. P.S. Hope you like the drawing. Yes, I like the drawing, Crow. Thank you so much. Ah, that's such a great way to start a vlog. Opening up a cute letter. Thank you so much, Crow. Chibits. This makes my day. Thank you. Thank you. Dear Chibi, part 4.5. Hey Chibi, it's Andy again. You know, the guy who keeps sending you letters even though he dies a little inside every time he reads them. How you doing, Andy? Well, the reason for that isn't really anything serious or terrible. It's just mostly regrets about the things I've typed about. You know, Chibi, I just finished a vlog that had my third letter in it. I know that I've already said this in a comment on that video, but thank you for not letting the public know what the letter was about. I said that I knew what my limits were, but I clearly went past them in the same letter. I feel like I'm trying too hard to stand out from all other people who send you letters, and that's what I'm doing to stand out. It's not very good for my reputation. Hey. Nobody's making fun of you. I know it's embarrassing. We all do embarrassing things. I mean, look, I was talking about freaking Brawling Go and Sweet Guy and talking about a person that literally his dick can't go down in Brawling Go. I mean, like, what the fuck? So, at this rate, people might come to know me as the guy that only talks about sexual stuff. Which is something I do not want to be known as. So I'm going to do some serious self-reflection. Hopefully I'll figure out a way to be unique without having to do anything that I would regret. Though it's a little bit too late for that. I guess you could consider my fourth letter in this letter to be me starting over, re-establishing myself as just a fan who wants to talk to you about random stuff that comes to mind, and not as the other guy that I won't talk about anymore. I swear, Chibi, I didn't plan this out, but somehow this moment is reminding me about ReZero. Especially the part where Subaru comes to terms with all the mistakes that he made. You didn't make big mistakes, you're just talking about sexual anime. Like, my boy Andy, chill, you're fine. Then he tries his best to fix them, which isn't very specific now that I think about it. I'll pick the third arc. Now on to the actual letter. So in the fourth letter, I said I was going to tell you my thoughts on Cyclone. Oh yeah, I remember you said you were, okay, in this letter. But before we get to that, we have a little celebration to commemorate the fact that I didn't let procrastination take hold of me. Take that, procrastination, you only had me for 2 days. I guess I can contribute the fact that this was my first time reading it to the reason why I finished it so quickly. Like Volume 1 of Danmachi took me the entire school year to finish, I can still remember reading it in my first semester final exams and my second semester final exams, and I still couldn't finish it. The reason for that is pretty much this. I'm just not so interested in reading what I already read/watched. This is especially true for novels, that it's very rare for me to reread a novel at all. I have reread certain sections of novels because those sections are really entertaining, and I could read entire manga series too, but let's get back to Cyclone. So my overall thoughts on the first volume are, I love it. I took a chance with this light novel and it paid off. This volume surprised me in a lot of different ways. The biggest surprise, and the one I'm happiest about, is that the second girl had the most focus. Of course, I'm only speaking in terms of harem standards, like the cover girl, aka the main female character. She appeared a third of the way in and pretty much became sort of like a secondary character until near the end, and there is where she takes focus. In some harems, I always end up liking the second or third or whatever numbered girl more than the first girl. If you remember my second letter, all of my best girls were not the main female character. I don't really know why I feel like this. The best reason for it is that I really hate that first girl gets MC trope. So already the novel is breaking the mode for me, so I do not want to go into more details as to why I had so much fun reading the light novel, but I also don't want to spoil anything. I can understand that, thank you. Just in case you decide to check it out for yourself, I will say that it does manage to keep a balance between the comedy and the drama, and if the teacher becomes more relevant in later volumes, then I'll never be able to look at lollies the same way ever again. Also, that cliffhanger with the little sister at the end makes me really happy. I didn't buy this volume sooner than I did. Only a few more weeks until volume 2 comes out. Ugh. You know, for some reason, I feel like I have to put a disclaimer here. Weird, right? Disclaimer. The light novel is classified as ecchi, but surprisingly, there is not a lot of it. It mostly comes from the main female character, and it's usually through words, so you won't be seeing a lot of boob grabbing, except for one or general ecchi stuff. Sorry to disappoint you. Oh, you got me. You got me. On to the next topic in the last letter. I said that I was going to give you my thoughts on the harem genre as a whole. Well, Chibi, if you're looking closely at all my letters, you can pretty much see what my stance on harems are. You pretty much like a lot of them. Pretty much all the series I've talked about, mentioned, or so far have all been harems one way or another, with the exception of Bishoujo, She Is Young, and Prison School. Well, kind of. These are in the confusing position for me. Bishoujo, or at the very least, is a love triangle, while She Is Young is a love triangle too, but it's also just a regular romance just because of the technicality. It's really difficult to explain while trying not to spoil. Lastly, Prison School is also a love triangle too, but at the same time, the triangle isn't the focus of the manga. Chibi, do you consider 2 girls to be the minimum amount for a harem, or does it need to be 3 girls? Usually when it comes to a harem, I say it has to be 3. That's what I think when it normally comes to a harem. A romance is 2 girls, I would say, because 2 girls fighting over one guy, it tends to be normal in a romance series. But 3 girls after one guy, then that's when it develops into a harem, in my opinion. Anyways, I love harems. I would go as far as to say I'm obsessed with them. It's gotten to the point where every series I watch/read are all harems. Whenever something has a harem tag, I add it to the list, my plan to read/watch list. If it doesn't have a harem tag, then I become reluctant to even give it a chance. I'm still on the fence with so many series, Chibi. Tokyo Ghoul... You're killing me. Berserk... One Punch Man, and etc., to name a few. Of course, I've come to realize that this is a very good trait to have. Like, I've decided to choose the one where the stories are all very similar to one another, where the amount of characters dev. The Shallow is a pound over series that are considered to be some of the best. It's quite an interesting choice that I made. I don't exactly know why I'm so obsessed with harems myself. At most, I come up with the fear that involves my childhood and the social isolation that I enacted upon myself, but that's a life story that I don't even know if it's worth telling. Hey. Look, okay, I read these letters to know more about you, Chibi, to connect with all of you, and if you want to talk about it, I'm fine with reading it, if you want me to share it, obviously, but I'm fine, you know, all of you Chibits are important to me, and I definitely would enjoy reading your guys' letters if you're willing to share. Now, just because I'm obsessed with harems doesn't mean I'll like every harem I come across. I do seek out the ones that have quality or at least something unique to them. The way I determine quality is how much I enjoy the character interactions. A good example of this would be Yushiga Shinda. Murabito no Origa, that's a big one. Or The Legendary Hero is Dead. I guess this manga will be my literally recommendation. The story for this one is really unique, and the character interactions are top quality comedy. Since this is all in the description, I guess it doesn't really count as a spoiler. Okay, so at first glance, it seems like a manga has a simple story of the hero going out to defeat demons and protect the people. But then you get to the first chapter and the hero gets killed by our main character. Already there's a twist. After that, the main character has to take up the mantle of the hero and basically go and do the hero's job. This is a hilarious manga with great characters. My favorite character is the main character himself. He's kind of like Kazuma. Except he's much more useful, a little less mean, but just as pervy. This manga made me consider taking up the thighs with legging fetish. It might have been the new craze if this ever became an anime, which I hope it does eventually. So for the third topic, I decided to change things up a bit. Instead of talking about anime and manga, I'm going to talk about video games. So Chibi, what do you think is the most hyped game in 2016? Oh, 2016. Gears is pretty fucking hype. I can't wait to play the campaign. But is that the most high? You know what? I would say Final Fantasy 15 is probably my most anticipated title of gaming. I've waited way too fucking long for that to finally come out. I've waited way too fucking long for Final Fantasy to finally get, Final Fantasy 15 out. I've waited too long. And it's finally coming. I would say Final Fantasy 15 easily is my most anticipated game of the year. Well, if your answer isn't Pokemon Sun and Moon, then we have a problem. I guess we do. I mean, I like Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but I prefer, Final Fantasy and stuff like that. Like, ever since before the reveal, there was a hype for this game. Of course, the hype was just the basic new Pokemon game hype, but it also felt different because this was the first time in the main series history that a year went by without a main series of Pokemon game. There are different release dates for Japan and North America, but if you look at the release dates for all the main series titles, they pretty much come out year after year. So the year that had no main series Pokemon game was last year, 2015. Now, Chibi, the year-long break is not for the cause of all the hype, rather it's all the reveals up to now. It's been crazy, Chibi. From February to September, there's been news left and right. They revealed new Pokemon, of course, but they also revealed some stuff that pretty much makes this generation the most unique out of all the main series games. If you thought the Pokemon was getting stale with its copy and paste structure, well, then get ready to be proven wrong. I won't go into specifics because I know that there's a lot of people who want to go in blind, so I'll just leave it at that. I'm really excited for the game, and I think that if everything falls into place, then this might even shed some light into the again, a runner's blind eyes, but that's only just a pipe dream. I can't believe that I rambled on about the new games without even asking you if you were going to buy them. If you're getting the game, then which version are you getting? I'm more of a nighttime person, so if I was getting the games, which I do have a 3DS, I'd pick up Moon. I would pick up Moon because I'm a nighttime person. I'm a night owl. I gotta be honest. And I'll probably start with the Owl starter. Yeah, I'll probably have the Owl starter if I did. Let's see. I'm getting Sun and my friend is getting Moon. At first he wanted Sun, but I said nope, and we had to battle it out with rock, paper, scissors. If you are planning on buying the game, then moving on to the end of the letter. I was hoping to make this letter short, but it ended up being longer than my last. Oh well, hey, don't worry about it. I'll end this letter off with a question I will give my answer to in the next letter. So the question is, what changes do you think should be made so that the harem genre could become better? I guess stop following the simple plot of always the main male character either starts off very weak and then gains a fucking power, and he's the most OP son of a bitch in the series, or having it to where the main male character is just, like, so unlikable and he gets all these girls for no fucking reason. It's all shallow. I mean, they just need to change it to where the character's likable. There needs to be a deconstruction going on with the harem genre, and I hope one day a series like that comes out, because for now, though, a lot of the plot and all that's pretty much almost always the same. It's like a new coat of paint on every single harem series. There's something usually sometimes a little bit unique here and there, but I'd like to see, like, you know, a character really change the series. For the genre to get rid of the strict about it being bland, generic, and outright terrible, this is a bit of a tough question even for me, because right now, all I can think of is an idealistic end goal. I don't even know what changes should be made. Preview for my next letter is Cyclone Volume 2, the Asterisk War Volume 1, Strike the Blood Volume 1, possibly Sugumomo, and anything that happens from now to then. And so I wish you a great week, and that I won't cause you any more awkwardness from now on. Until then, goodbye. Andy, thank you so much for constantly sending letters. And hey, chill on being down on yourself. If you want to be slightly perverted, that is fine. All of us are a little perverted, okay? Don't worry. Don't think bad of yourself, and don't worry, okay? But thank you very much, Andy, for the letter. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Dear Chibi, hello again. If you guessed, it was Alexis. I could tell by your handwriting. I could instantly tell you. The way you write is very distinct. I am so happy you love my extra gift to you. I am not afraid to say aloud that I am a Sephiroth fangirl. That's good. Sephiroth is one of the best villains of all time. However, it seems I have a long way to go in Tokyo Ghoul, so I must prepare my wallet. Also, I'll answer your question in our late Berserk recap. You may like to know that Berserk 2016 got a spot on Crunchyroll's Best of Summer. I want to repress what I just read right there, and I'm just going to carry on. Insert mini tantrum here. Let it out. Anyways, how are you, Master Chibi? I guess good. I mean, it's been relatively peaceful. How about yourself? I am doing great myself, as I am anticipating the fall anime season. And with Fall Among Us, that means more visits to the Oh Heavenly Starbucks or Pumpkin Spice Mat. You just made me realize I need to go pick up some fucking pumpkin spice flavor. Oh, I need to pick up my creamer. Pumpkin spice creamer. That's why I love this time of year, because that is so good in coffee. So, on with our late Berserk wrap-up. To answer your question about the fetus, before I watched the finale 12th episode, I did not have any guesses on what it could be. The fetus just shows up for about 15 seconds as the egg says it could dream with the new world as it's cradled, and then the fetus never comes back during episode 11. We know absolutely nothing about it here. People supported the trash that is Berserk 2016. I remember seeing people, even to this day, yelling at me, saying, "What the fuck, Chibi? Why didn't you like the fucking Berserk anime?" And you're fucking telling me, they didn't even explain the fucking fetus? It's... I'm not even joking. I get yelled at to this day. I see comments and stuff and messages like, "Chibi, why do you fucking hate Berserk? What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like... And then I see this. And I'm like... I want to spoil it, okay? I'm spoiling it. If you don't want to hear spoilers, mute it right now. But the fetus... that is Guts and Casca's child. Yes, child. The fetus is Guts and Casca's child. When Griffith raped Casca in the eclipse, Casca was already pregnant, but Griffith raping her made it to where the baby was corrupted, twisted, and looked like that, like a fetus. And after that was done with the eclipse, Casca was literally brain dead. She couldn't think. You know, she reverted to a child. She eventually had a child, and it was a fetus. And then it disappeared. And that's what it is. It is literally Guts and Casca's child. And throughout majority of what you should have seen through the anime, I don't know if they showed it, the child should have constantly have popped up throughout the journey of the Tower of, you know, the Tower of Conviction arc, constantly popped up around Guts, and it looked like it was either trying to help Guts or trying to harm him, but in reality, the fetus was helping Guts the entire time, and also helping out Casca, protecting Casca. And so, yeah, that's what the fetus is. And so when you see this right here, you see how they didn't even explain that. How are you supposed to care? They didn't even introduce the fucking Hellhound. They didn't even introduce the Beast of Darkness that is inside of Guts. They didn't even introduce that. And when you're telling me they're gonna make a continuation in 2017, what in the fuck is wrong with them? What in the fuck is wrong with them? Yo! What? I'm done. I can't. I'm getting mad. We know absolutely nothing about it here. In case of rage quit, you may take a rant break at this time. You're welcome. Now then, on to the last episode. Those who cling and those who struggle. Just before the opening title, Farnese wonders why Guts' voice stands out to her as they defend themselves against the omens. This goes nowhere, by the way, as the anime makes her look flat as a character. We also see Nina being reunited with Luca as Nina is saved from a stampede. Luca hides Nina in a barrel for her safety. Meanwhile, we see Guts and the gang fighting strong against the blob omens, which Puck says is the resentment and hatred of everyone. Some symbolism is shown with the hand of God. Guts' behelit starts to resonate with the sounds of the voices. I still not know what his behelit is about. Can you tell me? I'm not mad at you. Don't worry. I'm not mad at you, Alexis. So don't worry. I'm mad with the adaptation because people are going to see Berserk, they're going to watch the anime, and they're going to think this is the actual writing of the series, and I'm going to be like, no, the damage is done. The damage is done. The damage is done. This letter alone proves the damage is done. Oh my god, it's just like this. When a series that's very popular, a manga, gets a bad anime, it tends to make a bad view on the entirety of the series. Like, some people might watch the anime of Tokyo Ghoul and think that's it, and be like, what the fuck, this is a shitty series, and that's it, and they'll think the manga's shit as well. And just to see how the anime is, wow. That's gonna give a bad impression of such a masterpiece like Berserk. So, you know, I'm not going to even tell you what it's about. You should know already. Read the manga. Read the manga. Just read the manga. All I'm going to say. Read the manga. Chapter 1, Volume 1. Not even joking. Start from the beginning. Because you remember how I complained about how they skipped arcs? Well, that's the reason why. That is the reason. We see the egg a final time as he says something about overflowing light. The fetus has a 5-second scene as we find out who it will be. A quick scene occurs of the fairies from the beginning saying heaven's fall is here. The sun appears and everyone is okay, but the Kushans return to fight. And barely a minute battling the Kushans, Zod in a beast form suddenly, no build-up whatsoever, barges in. Guts sees this, deaf on his horse, and Griff himself in the distance. The gang escapes to a mountaintop while Guts and Casca ride a horse off somewhere. We don't know where either. The gang sees a horde of Kushans forming, presumably after Guts. Griffith flies off with Zod somewhere. He is in the episode for less than a few minutes, though, which is a letdown. We see Cedro part ways as well as everyone else. Varnice leaves the order and decides to follow Guts, and that is the end. Oh, and I will let you in on a surprise. There will be a Season 2 in spring 2017. Yeah, tragically. You may now cry, don't worry, it's okay, I understand. My word was that long. I apologize for taking this long. I know you will tell me it was completely okay, and I thank you. You know it. You took the words right out of my mouth. I don't want to hog the vlog to myself, so I will end my two bleeping long letters here. You take good care of yourself, and love you. Thank you very much. You take good care of yourself as well. And I love you, Chibits, all of you, Chibits. Don't worry, I'll report the new Berserk season so you won't have to cry anymore. Your friend and Chibit, Alexis. Aww. Regardless of it being about Berserk, it's fun always seeing your letters. Thank you very much, Alexis. Hopefully you continue to do this. It's always fun. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Since Gundam has returned, here's Full Armored Gundam from Gundam Thunderbolt, which is 4 episodes long and came out this year. You should watch it, and if you thought Mika was vicious, the lead from Thunderbolt is worse. From Cammy. Whoa, whoa, you're telling me that Mika, which he's a savage. If he's savage, you're telling me that the lead from Thunderbolt, this 4-episode series of Gundam, do I need to watch anything beforehand of it? He's even more vicious than Mika? Holy shit. So you sent me a model. I figure I could put together. Let's see. It's a Mobile Gundam Thunderbolt FA78 Full Armor Gundam. Now, I've never watched the series. Like, I haven't watched this version of it, so I don't know. But let me look at the design of this. The Gundam looks very similar to the Gundams I know. Like, that iconic face of the Gundam, that looks very iconic, the way the face is. So, let's look at that. I do like the color scheme. Is it supposed to be silver like that? Like, is that what it really looks like? It has that silverish design on the Gundam? Because that looks badass. I'm not even gonna lie. That looks really badass. I'm liking the lightly shade of red on there. Like, the reddish type look. And then the white color. It's just, oh wait, is that blue too? Like, light blue? I don't know if it's supposed to look that type, or if it's just because of the light glare that it's causing it like that. But I'm a big fan of the design of it, especially with the coloring. So, hopefully the actual Gundam looks like that. Oh, no, I'm completely wrong. My bad, I should have looked at the side here. So, it has the traditional blue, white, and red colors that you would see in a Gundam, and it looks like the traditional Gundam you would see. Let's see, how does it look? I like those plates on this side. That's badass looking, like the big-ass fucking shield plates. That's savage looking. I like that. And that's a big-ass gun on the top of it, too. So, how is this series? Game will confirm how Gundam Thunderbolt is. Do I need to watch anything beforehand, or is it, like, separate, like, you know, how Iron-Blooded Orphans is? Please let me know in the comments below. But thank you very much, Cammy. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that Chibi enjoys Smite, but I don't know if he knows that Amazon Prime, which currently has an exclusive skin for Ymir. I heard about it, but you just sent me a code. Thank you. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. You're sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Now that we are talking about games, how are you enjoying Legion? So, Legion. Let's talk about that Greymane and Sylvanas fight. So, that interaction with Greymane and Sylvanas, I want to see where that goes, because Greymane and Sylvanas' tension, how much they've hated each other in World of Warcraft, has been building up for so long. And to see these two finally going at it in one of the latest cutscenes where they're just beating the shit out of each other, Greymane literally rips away the thing that Sylvanas wanted to continue to make Forsaken and probably make herself immortal. She took it, or Greymane took it away from her. And I mean, just the overall struggle between those two throughout the Legion so far has been fantastic, because it's been building up since Kata. That entire interaction between these two characters has been building up since Kata, since, you know, what happened with Garrosh and all that, what he did, and the invading of, you know, Gilneas and what Sylvanas and the Forsaken did. And so, seeing this finally happen, it's got me excited. I mean, there's a lot of things with Legion, the game, that is just so much better than the previous expansions. Like, Warlords of Draenor, look, I like the story of WoW, I like it, but in terms of gameplay-wise of Warlords of Draenor, it was so bad. Like, the in-game content was just so bad of Warlords of Draenor, because it got really repetitive, or just the daily limits on the professions. It was, like, awful. It was really awful. And so far, the choices they've made on Legion, like what Blizzard has done so far, is way, way better than what they did with Warlords of Draenor. And when it comes to the actual story content, like the Tomb of Sargeras, to, you know, the Legion pumping out of it, to, you know, this is a big force force of the Legion coming. I mean, there's a possibility if this continues on, Stargaris will finally pop it out. And I mean, the entire bit with what's going on with the Emerald Dream, and, you know, the stuff with Illidan, to the demons, I mean, and even the Lich King as well. I mean, the Lich King, oh, like, the stuff going on in Legion right now with the Lich King, it has me so fascinated. Like, that's one of my favorite things about the expansion right now, is that the Lich King straight up tells the Death Knights, like the new Lich King, he's like, if you guys don't settle the fucking demon problem very soon, I'm gonna send in my undead. I'm gonna kill every bitch there. I don't care. It's gonna kill the freaking demons, it's gonna kill the humans, it's gonna kill the orcs, it's gonna kill the night elves, the blood elves, vice versa, it's gonna kill everyone. He's like, if you guys don't handle this shit soon, you stop that portal from sending in demons, I'm sending in my soldiers, my undead, the Scourge, the plague is gonna start. And that is terrifying, because if the Lich King sends that stuff in, that's like the nuke button. Like, he's like, I'm gonna nuke this shit. I'm going in and I'm nuking everything. And with that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing where that plot point with the Lich King goes, because that is a powerful ally, and if the Lich King uses his army right to fight the demons, that's gonna be an epic fucking story plot, a story thread of, you know, Legion. And then the stuff with Gul'dan and Varian and all that, oh man, what Gul'dan did, that was crusty. And then the War Chief with Sylvanas, oh my god. I was jumping for joy when I saw Sylvanas become War Chief. I'm like, I've been waiting for the Dark Lady to become War Chief, like, since the beginning. Since I first played WoW back in, like, 2005 or 6, like, a long time ago. I'm like, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the Dark Lady to finally become the War Chief. And when she got that title, I'm like, it's happened. It's happening. It's happening. So that was a very joyous moment. And then the whole entire stuff with, like, the cutscene. I love the way the cutscene was done. Like, all the cutscenes. Like, there's a lot of cutscenes in Legion that they've done a fantastic job with. And as you can see, I had a lot of fun with Legion so far. Not done with it yet. I've started to get into dungeons. And man, I like the designs of the dungeons too. Like, I tried out that Emerald Dream one, like the corrupt Emerald Dream looking dungeon. I like that dungeon too. A very good dungeon. So far, Legion is shaping up to be a very good expansion. Only time will tell if they continue to release content and all that. It will continue to be good and even improve. But yes, Legion as a game, Danny, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm loving the story. So, you sent a book. Stephen King's The Dark Tower, book 4. Now, I only have book 1 and 2. I don't have book 3. I don't know if you're still sending book 3 or not. But at this time, no, I'm only aware of you sending now book 4, and I already have book 1 and 2 that you sent me. And right now, I'm almost done with book 1. And damn. It's a nice read late at night. As I said before when I was doing my last vlog, it's a nice read late at night when I'm sitting down, you know, I'm getting my cup of coffee, about to head to bed, and I'm just reading a book. Good book. Just, you know, flipping through it, read about a chapter or two, put it aside, go to sleep. That's what I've been doing with it, and it's a really good book. I mean, if you guys haven't read Stephen King, you know, The Dark Tower yet, you should read it. Give it a shot. It's a pretty fascinating book. I can't imagine, though, with how good the story gets, because, I mean, look, this is the 4th book, The Dark Tower 4, so, yeah. Anyways, I want to end the vlog here. Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you so much. And thank you all of you Chibits that sent letters, and all of you that continue to send support through the comments, Twitter, and all sorts of stuff. It means a lot, and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please forgive me for the delay on this vlog, and I will be having the Ava video up today. Thank you so much for being patient. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.